I'm excited right now. Hey, you. Come
Oh,
on, sit down. You're sitting at the
whoa.
grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella. And as always, my partner in crime.
John Jacobs.
Thank you very much. And I'm glad we can all be together for this. This month is so packed with so much great content coming up that we had to celebrate St. Patrick's Day earlier, which not a bad thing because that means you get to drink a little earlier. So, hey, there's a go. But tonight we're going to be talking about St. Patrick's Day. It's our St. Patrick's Day special. That's
Woo!
not that, well, not really a St. Patrick's Day special. We're going to talk about kind of like, we're going to talk a little bit about the origin. We're going to talk about how it was, how it got Americanized, where the traditions come from, where the leprechaun comes from, where can we see leprechauns in pop culture. So we'll be talking all about that. But for right now, I want you to do me a favor, all right? Make me a promise, pinky cross it right now. Just subscribe and like on our YouTube page. Every new episode shows up the next day, Thursday morning, and this episode will be there waiting for you. So check it out. The more subscribers we get on there, the more we get out there to other people. So share. Sharing is caring, as always, I always say. And speaking of sharing is caring, share this link right now on Facebook. Let everybody know and allow them to join in on the fun. Make sure you crack open a cold one right now. John's doing it with water. That's
Look, I don't have any beer. I'm gonna go. I was gonna get some Guinness today, but I wasn't able to go to the store. However, I see your. What do you got? White Claw or Truly?
White Claw. Don't
White
act
Claw
like a bitch.
lemon.
Be a bitch.
Yeah,
That's what
there
I
you go.
always say.
I was definitely gonna get some Guinness, but just didn't happen. And then I got to run an errand after work, so I really didn't want to drink and drive. Trying to be a responsible adult. So it's water for me on this episode. But hey, maybe next episode I'll down a bottle of wine in 1 hour, and everybody will see something very magical on that episode. So,
well, it's just like a relative once told me. A DUI is just a $10,000 Uber ride home. That's all it is.
Sure is. And you get these little notches on your license that you can tell people about what you did and be all happy about it. And then maybe you have to go talk to people and tell them, maybe this isn't such a good idea. And maybe they, give your license back a month earlier or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, anyways, let's talk about it. St. Patrick's Day. And I want
Paddy's Day. It's here. Here we go.
Everybody, I want you to comment your favorite tradition of St. Patrick's Day. John, what's one of your favorite traditions? What's something that you do that makes it St. Patrick's Day for you? Are you Irish? That's another good question.
I don't think I am. I don't get into that 23andMe one because all that shit came out about how they're basically just tracking people. So not into that.
Not tracking people. You know what they're doing? They're closing cold cases with people's DNA.
Well, I'm okay with that. Like that's a good thing.
No, they're framing you. They just need someone to take the fall.
But yeah, I don't want to be the fall guy here. But no, like I'm probably the wrong person to ask that because I just have a problem with other countries, nationalities, cultures, whatever, word you want to use. Those celebratory things being taken and Americanized and then ultimately bastardized into just another excuse to binge drink. Because let's be honest, that's all anybody does on St. Patrick's Day. Now we're going to get into more of what's involved with that. But for me, growing up as a kid, it was everywhere. It was like there were commercials on the local news and in the news channels. There was, and there still is to this day in stores, the merchandise, because that's what it's all about now. Now it's just about selling those, 4-leaf clover necklaces that look like Mardi Gras beads and the little hats with the antennas with shamrocks on the end of them. And,
all it is.
The pot of gold rainbow tattoo that girls put on their cheeks. That's all it is now.
Selling Halloween masks that just explode when people watch a commercial.
There
Halloween 3, baby. That's what that's from.
Also, marketing from bars. Hey, let's just sell the exact same product we always sell, but put a couple droppers of color in it, charge $2 more, and we'll make a shitload of money this day. So, yay capitalism. So I can't say I have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it. It's like the Ancient Aliens guy. I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it. But look, this is just where we're at now. This is what we do. This is what America does. And whatever. But St. Patrick's Day for me, just the nostalgia of being a kid. Just like, are you gonna wear green tomorrow? And if you went to school and you didn't wear green, you got pinched. Or, you know, who had the craziest outfit? Like, I like the outfits. I really do like to see people dressed up. But then I get a little sad when I'm like, I know you have no Irish in you whatsoever, and you are out here like horns for this. So, and I see that you drank
straight up
10 beers already. So, okay, this makes sense. But no, I do like the dress up. I think it's fun to see people's creativity. I do enjoy that. And you know, my daughter likes to wear green on the day, and she's in elementary school. So, you know, they always do something just like we did growing up, you know, no problems there. And I know I'm being a little cynical and a little harsh on us Americans, but I mean, it's still true at the same time. But that was a really long answer, and it was very run on and convoluted. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I would say if you want to get the plus out of me, it's just the dress up. I do like to see the elaborate
dress up.
You know, the elaborate, you know, costumes and gear that people, you know, assemble for this one day that's not even really a actual American holiday. It's more of a hybrid. But again, we'll get into that. So yeah, sorry about the long answer run on, folks. Look, Jesse, just cut me off, and
I'm cutting you off right now. I'll do you a favor. I'll do you a solid.
It's one of those days, man.
It's one of those days. But no, and for me, I one of my favorite traditions is always performing on St. Paddy's Day.
There you go.
To any aspect, it's a holiday where everybody comes out to comedy clubs, gets drunk. I remember the one time one of my favorite times that happened during St. Patrick's Day, a comedy show. An Amber Alert went off with everybody's phones.
Oh, right in the middle of your set?
Right in the middle of everybody's set. And I look at everybody and go, I didn't fucking do it. Broke the tension. But the guy that was headlining is one of my favorite comedians in this country. He's called the Disgruntled Clown, dresses as a clown. One of the funniest comedians you'll ever see live. So people don't know who that is. Check out the Disgruntled Clown, one of the greatest comics around. But he was just
disgruntled clown. So
he's dressed as a clown, but he does regular stand-up, right? And the alarm went off again as soon as he went on stage, and he's like, "Dude, chill out. She's in the band." And the audience lost their mind laughing. Lost it.
We know where she is, just not her geographic location.
Yeah, she's in the band.
We know where she is. Hey, Ryan Hillsman threw up a comment. Let's see what he's got.
I got a kill for St. Patty's Day. Unfortunately, I won't be celebrating this year.
Why not? Ryan, why not? What happened, man? Tell us.
I want a reason. I want a reason out of you, Ryan.
Look, man, you better post a picture of you wearing that fucking kill at some point between now and St. Patrick's Day. Even if you're not celebrating,
no underwear,
going anywhere, put the damn kilt on, take the picture, and post it, man. We need to see it. But go ahead and drop another comment. Tell us what's going on in life. Why aren't you celebrating?
Yeah. And this year, I understand. But we got to get creative, people. We got to get creative.
Yeah,
that's why this year, for the first time, I'm doing a live podcast on St. Patrick's Day. So that's what we're going to do. Ryan commented again. Single parent, I have to work early the next day.
Hey, that's okay, man. You do you take care of your kid, take care of your family. That is a valid reason, and you will get no objection from me on that.
That's a good reason. But yeah, comment your favorite St. Patty's Day traditions. But I love St. Patty's Day because it's just a fun holiday. Again, it's just like Halloween. There's no obligations to do anything except just go out of your mind and get blitzed. I love the Halloween. Those are my favorite holidays. The holidays that have responsibility or fiduciary obligations. That just ruins
like
everything.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. Ugh.
Exactly. But this is a holiday where getting your keys lost up your ass and drunk on the hood of your car it's just that's the mistletoe.
And that definitely happened to somebody. I guarantee you, someone ended up in their ass and they ended up passed out on the hood of their car. I guarantee it's happened to at least one person.
Exactly, but yeah, no. And as always, drink responsibly, people. You don't want to get caught getting a DUI or anything. Because listen, I know. I've joked about family members of mine that that they're like, oh, Jesse, don't talk about the alcoholism. Don't talk about it. Listen, it's not my fault that the town AA meeting turns into a family reunion. Okay, that's not my fault. All right, and I'm not naming names, so yeah, but
no. But
no names because it's anonymous, and that's how we do it here. That's how we do it. All right,
Oh, that's funny.
But so it just with alcohol, guys, be careful, be safe. But what's your drink of choice, everybody? I want to see everybody comment their drink of choice. I'll even change the banner. Now, John, what is your drink of choice? What reigns Irish on your taste buds?
So I do not do green beer because I feel like I'm drinking the Exorcist puke. So I just like regular drinks, folks. I like Guinness in general. Look, I'm a very regular drink kind of guy. I just like regular whiskey. I like regular beer. Like, I don't get all fucking fancy with it. I mean, I'll drink whatever's in front of me, but when I'm making the choice, I am very simple with my choices. I just like regular Pinot wine. Like, yeah, I'm very simple, okay? But I do love Guinness. I've loved Guinness ever since I've been of age to drink, and maybe a couple years before that, like everybody else. So that would be my choice, but it's not locked into I only drink it at this time of year. You put a Guinness in front of me, I'll drink it. So it's the time or day is kind of irrelevant, but on St. Patty's Day, yeah, I crack a Guinness.
I just want to see someone get fucking roundhouse with Pinot Grigio, just like
I'm telling you, look, if you want me to drink the whole bottle within an hour on next week's episode, I will, but it's not going to be pretty. I promise you that.
You're just crying halfway through, like, what the hell happened to John?
Like, I don't even know if people want to see that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I think it's a very risky thing to see that. Ryan throws up my favorite St. Patty's Day tradition: boiled dinner and celebrating my Irish pride. There you go.
There you go. Hats off to you, Ryan. So that's what it's all about right there. Ryan's got, obviously has Irish in his roots, and he's using the time to not only celebrate that, but also kind of bring it all together with where he lives. So that's perfect. And that's how the celebrations started in America, but things got dark about 100 years ago. So, but hey, that's perfect. But Jesse, what's your go-to? It's literally St. Patty's Day. You're doing a set at a bar. You need a drink to calm down. You go up to the barkeep. You slap your hand down. You say, "Barkeep," and he looks at you like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" And then you order a
Moscow Mule.
That's your St. Patty's Day drink?
I don't drink a lot, dude. What do you want me to say?
You're drinking a White Claw, right? You're all over the place, man. There is no consistency.
I like rum and Coke. Rum and Coke is good. I like rum and Coke. Oh my God, why are you scoffing me here? You were the one that was like, oh, I like Pinot Grigio. Like, like you're cradling a ball sack when you're holding your glass.
I will take it. You made a valid point, which I will accept. However, I did explain the one drink that I do always drink on St. Patty's Day, and it happens to be Guinness. I mean, you're. Let me get that Moscow Mule, and can you put a couple green color droppers in there for me? I really appreciate that. And they're like, that's not an Irish drink, right? And you're like, yeah, fuck it.
Why'd you go Russian? Everybody's looking at me like,
paying
the Russian drink.
Barkeep, not give me a history lesson. You want your tip or not? Make the damn mule. And put those green droppers in it because it is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. And I actually do have a few St. Patrick's Day movies I watch every year. Besides the obvious Leprechaun movies, there's another movie I watch every year because it's technically a St. Patrick's Day movie. The Fugitive.
I mean,
give this to me, John.
Okay.
The main character walks in the parade.
You're right.
What?
You're absolutely right. Because if we're gonna say that like Die Hard and Gremlins are Christmas movies, then I will agree with you. If there is a literal St. Patrick's Day parade and the main character is participating in said parade, doesn't matter what the motivation is, he's there. So
there.
we got a St. Patrick's Day movie. Now, it may not be made about St. Patrick's Day, but it is.
We all know it's the spirit of St. Patrick's Day. We know it's the spirit.
Yeah, the guy with the robot arm that no one believed him, that he had to track down. That there's a lot to do with the Irish in that, man. Tommy Lee Jones hunting him down.
Winning an Oscar, too. Winning an Oscar for that movie.
What a fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie.
I heard the book was pretty good, too. I haven't read it, though. So
actually, it was based on a real court case, believe it or not.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was based on, dude, the guy, I love the actual case. So the guy gets into the house, he gets knocked out, wife gets killed. He comes to, I guess, like a few seconds later, runs out onto the beach trying to fight the guy again, gets knocked out one more time. So the whole is very long drawn. And he eventually went to jail, then eventually came out because they proved his innocence eventually. He became a wrestler because that's just the next step in the whole thing.
Yeah, you go
calling himself the murderer, which not a great PR move, but just keep it going.
Wait, hold on. That's literally like O.J. Simpson writing a book. Well, I didn't do it, but if I did do it, here's how I would have done it. Like, are you kidding me, man? Your wrestling name was the Murderer? Like, oh my God.
I was just like, what in the hell? Like, dude, I don't even know why that anybody would have thought that was a great idea. You know what I mean? Like, who would do that?
Different strokes for different folks.
Indeed.
Ryan also said that his favorite drink was Guinness as well, so we're in that club together.
Yep, right there. But yeah,
nobody else drinks Moscow Mules on St. Paddy's Day.
I will drink any. Listen, I try to get fancier than usual. Okay, so probably I will.
You want the pinky drink where you can do the little extend as you're tipping? Yeah, I understand.
What I had at my wedding, what my brother started drinking at my wedding, that moonrise or that sunrise. It was that fruity drink. I drink the shit out of that.
Dude, all I did was, I don't know, I kept going up and said, give me what you gave me last time. And the lady was like, oh, yeah. And then just literally would fill my glass up.
She just kept changing your order every 5 seconds.
That's how it went with me doing drink orders at your wedding. Hey, give me what you had last time. Yeah, sure. Here you go. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's exactly it. Let's switch gears right now. Right now, what we're going to talk about, St. Patrick's Day. What is St. Patrick's Day? What is this holiday? I mean, it's a drinking holiday. I mean, if drinking was a sport, this is the Super Bowl. You know, this is the day where this is what this day is about. What really is about. Now, I'm not Irish, but I went to St. Patrick's School. We were known as the Fighting Irish there, and then I went to Ursuline, and that was the Fighting Irish there. So I have to be Irish by proxy at this point, okay? But so essentially, what I was taught in Bible school, which, by the way, funniest meme I ever saw was somebody said that church is just an unpopular book club. Very true.
Yeah, pretty much. And this story from you going to Bible school is about to be hilarious. I can guarantee it. So you might as well say it.
Exactly. But anyways, but it's like, okay, so St. Patrick, he's brought to Ireland as a prisoner, and then for some reason the story goes to him chasing snakes out of Ireland. I don't know the rest of the story. I never really paid attention.
I mean, that's the roundabout story, and the main color to signify this was also blue. It didn't even originate as green. So,
and another thing I noticed, somebody who was brought somewhere as a prisoner, then escaping, and then driving the snakes out of Chicago or Ireland. Could this be Dr. Richard Kimball escaping prison and then driving the snakes out of Chicago, who murdered his wife?
You can't
it's a bigger St. Patrick's Day movie than we thought.
You can't bring everything back to The Fugitive.
Yes, I can, and I just did it.
I mean, I know you did, and that was your one. Everybody gets one, and you used your one up. But, yeah, so, St. Patrick, does his Gandalf move with his staff, and, he chases off all those snakes off, the British Isles, I think it was.
Yes.
If we're wrong, someone correct us.
Ryan's helping us out.
Ryan's helping us out. He's got some more specifics to fill in our gaps.
Thank you, Ryan.
Oh, there we go. Also so he also converted Ireland without killing the population. So that's great. Thank you, St. Patrick, for not murdering
how
people.
un-Catholic.
Well, look, we had the Crusades where we forced people into another religion at sword point, and if they didn't do it, guess who got ran through? So, thank you, St. Patrick, for not killing people when you converted them. That's cool. So, yeah, so we take this. And then, we start our colonies out in America. And, I was actually looking it up to see when the Americanization actually happened, because I thought it was like a 19th century, 20th century type thing. It actually wasn't. It actually happened in Boston, like in the 1700s. Like they basically, the people who were Irish immigrants basically just celebrated that day. And for hundreds of years, it was just kind of their celebration that they would celebrate, but it became a hybrid celebration, because then it became a celebration of their heritage and also their appreciation for living in America. So it switched off to like more inclusion with America. But then it got taken a step further in the 20th century when we said, oh man, we have this great marketing concept here. So all the Irish Americans celebrate this day, and they've started to hybridize it so other Americans who are of Irish descent will also participate, and then also non-Irish Americans are starting to participate. So because all these people are participating, let's do what we do best. Yay, capitalism. And just start and making money on things that are green, things that have the Irish flag, leprechauns, all that shit. So that's really when it tipped over. It was in the 20th century where we started to really say, okay, this is just a marketing gimmick. Let's start really cashing in. Kind of like how Hallmark did on Ash Day after Thanos snapped his fingers. Like,
that's it.
What were they supposed to do? Let's fucking keep selling cards. Like, right? What are we supposed to do? Keep selling green shit for St. Paddy's Day. Make that money. I mean, that's what it came out to be. And then, in great American fashion, let's just binge drink the whole day, because that's what we do on pretty much every holiday. So then you get your green beer and your entertainment and your big bar events. Now, a lot of times, really good bars and venues will just kind of have like an admission fee, $25, $50, whatever it is to get a ticket. You go in, and then it's usually like, okay, this, and this is unlimited. This you pay more, blah, blah, blah. So you can actually have a really good time on places like that. I've been to a few like that in the past, and those always seem to be better for me because the crowds were a little more evened out, and you didn't really have to worry about anything. Trying to go to just Yahoo's bar across the street where there's really no standards or anything on St. Patrick's Day, that's a different experience, which I've also done as well. I encourage everybody to do both and see which one works best for you. So,
yeah, for me, when it came to St. Patrick's Day, I either like the hole in the wall bar where everybody knows each other, because then it always feels like a private party. Or again, like I said, I'm a sucker for working on St. Patrick's Day at a comedy club. So there's that as well.
Sure.
Yeah, but for me, I mean, that's what St. Patrick's Day. Hold on a second. I got
there he is.
The funny stuff is calling. Pete, I was just talking about the funny stuff, how I was there St. Patrick's Day with the Disgruntled Clown years ago. Everybody go check out the Funny Stop Comedy Club. That's the place to go. Always a great time. Great comedians coming up. You do not want to miss everybody that got coming up there. So check that out. So anyways, so that's what St. Patrick's Day is. We Americanized it. We kind of went into this segment already. We Americanized it. But now it's so Americanized that now the Leprechaun itself has lost, I don't want to say it's lost its magic, but man, does it cause some crazy things, which is what we're going to get into in our next segment.
So look at it this way. Your school mascot growing up was the Fighting Irishman. That was mine too. And because I grew up in Dublin, Ohio, so everything was either the Shamrocks or the Fighting Irish. Like any school you went to, it was one of two mascots. That's the one you were getting. When I went to high school, I happened to go to a new high school that was built, and it was the Fighting Irish. And it was a very stereotypical looking Irish person with his dukes up, ready to fight, red goatee, red hair, had a corncob pipe coming out of his mouth. And, I mean, when you're like 15, you look at it, you're like, yeah, no big deal. But then when you're 40, you look at it and you're like, maybe not the best.
It's the cheap wahoo for the Irish.
Right, exactly. Like, maybe we should just pick the shamrock and just all go with that. But, I don't make those decisions. So
We call them the shamrocks, the sham.
yeah.
I used to, that my buddy and I, every year, because I'm Italian and he's Irish, we just shit on each other. He shits on me for being Italian, I shit on him for being Irish. I always tell him that you can't spell shamrock without sham. Just shit like that.
Nice. I like that.
Yep, like it's just shit like that. But that's how we keep his. He's like, he always tells me, he's like, this is how I honor my ancestors who came here to this country by shitting on your race, Jesse. I'm like, I appreciated that. So he's keeping his spirit strong by hating on me for being Italian.
That's actually a really deep conversation that needs to be explored on for another time.
It's so funny. Me and him will sit there and roast each other. Just like I remember the one time I messed with him because someone was dressed in one of those giant green suits.
Oh yeah.
I literally turned to him like, "Hey, does that green face piss you off?" just being a dick to him. Or he'll send me a meme of an Italian chef shooting himself with a box of spaghetti and it says "Pasta la vista." Like just stupid shit like that. Well, this is all we do. It's Time War. That's who it is. So we'll have to bring it back on the show.
Oh, well, now that you mentioned it was Time War, that
makes a lot of sense.
That's all you need to say, man.
Makes a lot of sense.
Now, next time we have him on the show, we'll bring that up.
Will do. But let's get into our next topic. I really want to talk about this because I remember when this happened, man. The leprechaun. So we talk about leprechauns in pop culture. The one we're going to talk about is the viral video.
Yes.
All right.
What city was it in Alabama? It was like Crichton or
Crichton. Yeah.
Crichton. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
It's Crichton. So basically, yeah, I'm trying to remember as much as I could for this because it was a crazy time. Because so
let's do this. Let's play the video. And if we add commentary, we add commentary. If we don't, we don't. Whatever happens. Once we're done playing the video, then we'll talk about what actually happened. Because it's not 100%, but it's close.
Yes. We're going to, and just so we don't get taken down, we're going to take that. We're not going to put the sound on because we don't want to, because just in case Zuckerberg's like, hey, you're making noise. We don't like that.
The sound is everything, though. Oh my God.
We'll take a risk. We'll take a risk for this video.
Okay, guys. So here's the deal. The last time we did this on the Jaws episode, it was our Shark Week episode, they shut down our live feed from being posted. Now, anybody watching the live feed was still in the live feed, but once the live feed ended, we couldn't do anything more with it. So it wasn't on our page or anything. So I think we're willing to risk this episode. Go ahead and play the volume. If it gets shut down, no big deal, because when we upload it to YouTube, it'll be there and everyone will be able to see it, because that doesn't violate any YouTube terms of service.
It doesn't, but it might ding us.
Dude, that video has been reposted so many times on other people's channels, and it's still up. I think we're good to do the sound, to be honest. So
we're gonna do the sound. Let me make sure this unmute.
Make sure the audio is enabled.
Set. It should be okay. So now there it goes. Hold on, sir.
Time for St. Patrick.
There we go.
Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun has taken up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yay?
Yay!
Yeah, hell yeah. I wish I was there.
I wish I was there. Only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This text resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could someone tell me, is it all about any love You know I ain't got no family. That's the hood shit is.
Be a crackhead
There it is.
that got hold to the wrong stuff. And
Yes.
told me to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
Yes.
Did you buy me a joint?
I agree with her. This is not the video I sent you. Somebody has added these clips. These clips don't have anything to do with the original one.
Better action.
I chose a different video because the other one was an NBC one. I didn't want them to take us down.
Good idea. Yeah, so this is not a part of. Somebody's added this.
No clown is more enjoyment. More enjoyable.
There we go. Here's the guy. This dude.
Get on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head
he's
to
got the
toe.
flute. I forgot about the flute.
He's got
bells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish.
This is a horrible video. It's so jacked
I
up.
don't drink no wine. Whiskey is better than easy to find. I don't shoot no dope. Whiskey is better.
This wasn't supposed to be there either.
No, but whiskey's better. I love that line.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know
That's what I would do exactly.
I would do too.
Give me
Just
the
knock
gold.
the
I
tree
want the
over.
gold.
This is Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News.
People will do
Okay, but we
anything
didn't get
for a
any
pot of gold.
warnings, so we're good. The episode is still up. So, yeah, that was definitely not the clip to show. But I get the NBC tag and not wanting to put that on there.
Yeah, I was trying to find.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Into it. That had added elements, but
yeah.
But oh
everybody
my god,
gets the point. So this video went viral a while ago, right? Everybody was watching, just thought it was hilarious, especially the guy that was decked out in like body armor, and he had the 1,000-year-old flute that was somehow passed down from his great-great-great-grandfather.
It was a lead pipe.
Hilarious, which is it's some lead pipe with some holes drilled in it. I'm like, I'm not sure if this metal was even being, refined, manufactured 1,000 years ago, but we'll go with it, So the video is real, but it's not 100% real.
No.
So here's what actually happened. So in the town, somebody claimed they saw a leprechaun, and that caused some of the townsfolk to congregate together and look for whatever it is they thought they saw. Well, in doing so, they also called the police, like, hey, we saw something, come out here and check this out. Well, the crowd kind of grew and grew as a couple police showed up and they were looking around and talking and everything. Well, you know how the news stations have scanners and stuff so they can stay up on what's happening and get out there when things break, right? Mm-hmm. So they were starting to hear the chatter of the police showing up and this large congregation of people. So they were like, okay, well, let's go out there and see what's going on. And they started filming people who said that they had saw the leprechaun. But after about the first or second person, it was becoming a little more evident that the town was just having fun.
Oh,
and
they were.
They were just having fun with it. And they were just, that's it. They were having fun. And the news crew was already out there. They were already shooting. So they just shot it. And then they aired it afterwards. And that's really what happened. So it is a real video, but it's not, because they weren't really all freaking out about a leprechaun. They kind of were, but it was kind of hammed up for the cameras once the cameras showed beyond what the initial part of it was. But the video itself is absolutely hilarious, and the woman absolutely nails it in the car where she's like, it's probably a crackhead who got the wrong stuff and is up in a tree. Boom. Yes. Excellent answer. That's it right there. You nailed it. Because if I had to pinpoint what was going on, I would definitely say it was probably a crackhead hanging out up in the tree. And when you shine the light on him, he was like, and like jumped and ran away looking for some more crack. You know what I mean? Yeah, I absolutely love that video. It always makes me smile. Like, and to me, it's a little bit more because it shows that the news station just went with it and had fun with it, and it shows a community coming together and just having fun. And that's way better than the bullshit we're dealing with now. So
I
let's
agree.
go out and have fun. Let the news go out there and shoot it and have fun and just make it fun. That's why I like this video so much. It's just a town having fun. And the studio just went with it and had fun with them. And I think that's fantastic.
I think it is too, because like I said, it was a kind of a joke that everybody was in on.
Yes.
And they were just being fun and silly, and like that's the thing that I miss anymore, because like nowadays people don't have fun anymore with anything. Everything is so like everybody just kind of forgot how to have a good time with each other and have fun with the stuff that's not serious. Like everybody they want to be serious about everything. They want to be, and I get that. People are passionate about stuff. Be passionate about stuff, but don't forget to be a human being and have some fun and just screw around it. I mean, I bet you this was the huge escape that this town needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were probably, everybody has their own personal demons they're going through life, but to come together and do like the equivalent of a flash mob, except not a flash mob dance. Instead, it's a news circulation that there's a leprechaun, they're finding artifacts. That's hysterical. That's fun. I wish I was there for that whole thing.
I'm telling you, the flute the flute and the crackhead are my two favorite parts of that. That's awesome, because here's what I wanted to happen. I wanted a guy to blow the magic flute.
I did too.
I want to hear what the sound sounds like, because then I'm going to replicate that sound and see if I can conjure up a leprechaun in my backyard.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Ryan says 100%. Everything is too political. I agree. That's why we stay away from politics with this stuff. We just want to be here to have some fun, enjoy. I mean, as political as we will get, is I think Hedley Lamar would have made a great secretary in Blazing Saddles. That's the most. I'm sorry. I was watching Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks, all that stuff.
It's so random and had absolutely nothing to do with
has everything to do with this. Everything to do with it. Trust me. In that movie, that movie was about tolerance and acceptance, because at one point the mayor of the town asked for no Irish to live there, and then he changed his mind and Irish can live here. All happened in a 2-second scene. That's called acceptance and inclusion, John. And that's what we're teaching here, kids.
There is no way that Blazing Saddles would get made today.
Not a chance.
Never
not a chance.
Happen. Not a chance. Never, ever, 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 never. So I'm glad that it got made, because it's a very important film, even though it has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, it would never be made now. So no, not.
Yes, no, I agree. I'm gonna. But anyways, with this viral video, man, like I love that sketch, man. Like that sketch was like the most stereotypical.
You can see the little beard on it, like somebody drew in the gruff for the beard, and he had the buckle on, like the bowler hat. Dude, that was so great.
I was hoping there was a leprechaun that looked exactly like that, like that episode of SpongeBob with the sponge doodle that's evil. Like, and it's just a leprechaun running around going, me hi.
I'm unfamiliar with this episode.
There's a SpongeBob episode where he draws himself, and the drawing becomes evil, but it never speaks English. It goes,
okay.
Yeah. This is me. Today, guys, I'm in a deep cuts mode, all right? It's either you're on my level or get the fuck off. That's what it is.
Also, you were born in 1996, so it's a little bit different, okay?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I was literally like driving and dating girls when you were born, so...
I was a sperm.
Yeah, you were still cum at that point.
I was still cum at that point. I was still cum. Ryan Francis, what did he throw out? 1996. Wait, is that whole? No, Ryan. Yeah, is that whole?
No, Ryan. Oh, the year of the Titanic. Oh, remember when that movie took over? Yeah, I do.
Was that 1996?
I don't know what Ryan. What? I feel like you're going to make a point. We've got 1996, year of Titanic with Kate Winslet. All right, bring it home to St. Paddy's Day, buddy. I know you can do it. Right there, we're on the cusp. Are you going to come out and tell me Billy Zane's Irish or something? That would be fantastic.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Telling us that the year you were born was when he saw his first fair breast. Okay. See, look at this. Look at this.
Hell yeah. Let's drink.
See, everybody remembers 1996 except for you, Jesse.
I remember it a little bit. I remember Toy Story coming out on video.
All right, this is a whole other episode.
Full circle. Look at that. Full circle right there.
There we go. Full circle. There it is.
That's it. Full circle. But
So-
hey, let's jump on. Before we close with this topic, do you have anything else you want to end with this?
Yeah, I was just going to tell people, look up we just didn't want to play the one that was NBC branded for obvious reasons. We don't want copyright or the show to get shut down for today, even though we were willing to risk it. But you can check that video out. It is the actual newscast video. It's not doctored or anything, just so you don't have those weird little cuts, and then they slowed some audio down. I don't know why. But definitely check that out, and it's absolutely hilarious. I wish I was there with them having that much fun and just having a night where you're just having fun with your neighbors. So let's go ahead, and now let's move on to probably the most recognizable mythical creature next to, I would say, Santa Claus and Lion-O from the Thundercats? Who is it?
It's a leprechaun.
Leprechauns! They're everywhere. Why?
They're everywhere. They're magically delicious. I wouldn't eat them, but I'm talking about their cereal. It's fantastic.
The cereal, bro. The cereal.
The cereal.
Not them. You don't eat leprechauns. I do love me some Lucky Charms like pretty much everybody does. All I'm going to say is, would it hurt them to frost the cereal like they frost Cheerios and then have the marshmallows?
Get on it, Kellogg's.
There it is. Get on it.
Get on it.
Lucky Charms with double marshmallows. That's what I want. And bring the what was the marshmallow that I really I can't remember. I liked when they were in the shapes, like the diamond, the horseshoe, and then they added like the balloon, and then they added the rainbow, and then they added like a unicorn.
They added a shooting star.
They've added shapes to it as it goes. But Lucky Charms cereal. Who loves Lucky Charms cereal?
I loved it.
You do. I'm sure most of our viewers like Lucky Charms. I actually haven't met a single person, I don't think, that actually would say I don't like Lucky Charms. But is it because of the mascot, or is it because of the cereal?
I'd say it's a mascot. I mean, remember those commercials, how episodic they were?
Oh, dude, it was like a little mini story. You're right. I totally forgot about that.
Every commercial that was different, like, it was carrying on a story arc, and eventually he became accepting of the kids. Like, sometimes he was like, you know what? You guys can have some Lucky Charms.
Because you found my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, like, there's sometimes he was cool, and then there was sometimes like, oh my God, I need help. There's a new marshmallow. Like the kids always changed. It was kind of like Barney, essentially. The kids were always different. Yeah. Dinosaurs stayed the same.
And there was one thing I really liked about those old Lucky Charms commercials was that, for the most part, many of them were fully animated. So it was like watching a cartoon when you were a kid.
Oh, it was great.
It's not a live-action couple of douchebag kids and then a CG leprechaun jumping around. They're like, oh, hey, Lucky. No, none of that shit.
Yeah.
These were fully animated back in the day.
Back then, they used to do so many cool things with cereals. Like, I remember Captain Crunch had his own video game at one point.
Dude, you could almost call it a mini-series, and again, in the commercials, because it was like that. Now, you got to be careful, because the cereal has been known to cut the roof of your mouth, so chew carefully.
Chew carefully, my friends. But here's the thing. A leprechaun isn't the only way that knows how... Lucky Charms isn't the only way a leprechaun can cut you. There's other ways it can cut you, because that's our we'll talk about our next leprechaun in a little bit. But right now we'll stick with Lucky right now, because I was like thinking, oh, that's a great transition. But like, no, let's stay on Lucky for a couple more minutes. But I don't know, I miss the old Lucky mascot. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see him much anymore. There's not a lot of commercials for it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is just, so here's what happened from like the 80s and the 90s when you were born. You didn't really grow up until the 2000s. So I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. By the time you were growing up, a lot of the shifting had already happened. But what happened is just like they stopped making cartoons specifically to sell the toy line, they also stopped marketing a lot of things to kids, and that was fast food and sugar cereals. So
yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
By the time you were like of an older like type age, but still kind of a kid, that big transition had already started to happen. Now, that's not saying they don't still market to kids. They do. But it's not as heavy as it used to be, and the tactics aren't the same anymore. because
yeah.
for obvious reasons. So I'm not throwing in on that saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying things in the world happened, and as a result, marketing changed. And what we're seeing now is not the same marketing we saw 20, 30, and 40 years ago, which was, hey, make kids want this cereal any way you can. How do we do that? Well, kids like leprechauns, kids like money, kids like rainbows, and kids like cartoons. Let's combine all this and sell the best fucking cereal we invented. Done. And that's exactly what happened. So just can't do it that way anymore. You got to be a little more tricky with the marketing now. But back then, man, it was all in. Let's make a cartoon. Let's make a cereal. No pun intended, cartoon. And really keep kids engaged. Now they're recording the commercials so they can watch the story in chronological order. Like, this is how we sell shit. So, yeah, I mean, of course they were trying to appeal to kids, and it was a fantastic way to do it. So,
the obvious reasons, you mean the pussification of America?
Hey, we're not gonna.
I wouldn't say we got pussified. I just think we just moved away from commercials and stuff like that. We have a new way of doing stuff now. Nowadays, because I think as merchandising has changed big way, because like Christopher Nolan, in some sense, may be the death of the crazy toy-driven merchandise of movies. But we'll talk about that another day. I have a whole theory on that and evidence to back that up. But let's get to our next topic because we're running out of time. We want to talk about the Leprechaun franchise,
dude. So we gotta start with. Let me just say that some of the most popular actors and actresses and entertainers, if you will, come out of, I don't want to say bad movies, but films that you wouldn't necessarily associate with an A-list entertainer. And Jennifer Aniston got her start. And if I remember correctly, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, she got this because one of her relatives was working on the film, was either director, writer, producer, something. And I think, if I'm wrong...
somebody throw it out. If they know, let us know.
I have the internet right here and I could look it up, but I'm not going to. But it was something, I believe it was something along those lines. So she got in early in the movie and, obviously stepping stones came for her and that led to Friends and then rest is history. But I always like seeing like origin movies for people. I think it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has to start somewhere. Crispin fucking Glover was in Friday the 13th Part 4.
He was.
Kevin Bacon was in the original film. So
Johnny Depp was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, these are gifted and renowned entertainers that came from films like this. So I love that. I think that's incredible. The Leprechaun franchise was interesting. We got Warwick Davis, which was great, playing the Leprechaun. I don't think he had a name, or did he? Did he have a name?
I don't know. I think he was just the Leprechaun.
I am going to look that up. And he was trying to get his gold back. And in doing so, he brutally murdered people. And this went on for several different movies. We ended up doing a urban film where we went to the hood, which was probably my favorite one. And then I even think there was an...
Lubidin.
Okay.
Lubdan. I'm messing. I can't pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's how you do it.
And then we did get Leprechaun 4 in space, which I knew that there was this in space, and I remember why I remember it now, because Debbie Dunning was in that. And if you guys remember who Debbie Dunning is, she took over for Pamela Anderson as the model on Tool Time on Home Improvement, where Tim or Al needed something, she would bring it out to them. Yep. That originally had Pam Anderson. She dropped that one to Baywatch. And so then they picked up Debbie Dunning and she stayed on for the rest of the season. So when Leprechaun 4 came out in space and she was in it, man, I was all over that. Like 13-year-old John was all over that movie. So
this is a movie where essentially the Leprechaun manifested himself into gonorrhea at one point. Let's not forget that. kids. This leprechaun used his magical powers to become gonorrhea.
I mean, if you had to pick a venereal disease to manifest yourself as, I mean, what would it be other than gonorrhea? Would you want to be syphilis or chlamydia? Or I
don't even know. I don't even know how to compare that. Like, how do you make that logical jump of, oh, dude, like, hey, dude, if you could be any STD, would you be crabs any day of the week? Like, how'd you ride there?
I guess if you're looking for least invasive way to get rid of the VD, I guess crabs would be, because you just got to shave and put a little like cream on and it's done. But everything else, it's like internal, man. It's more of a, you got to fight a little bit more to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, but and let's not forget, he kind of violently comes out of the person's penis ejaculation style. It sounds like I'm fucking around here, but I'm not. Just watch it. These movies are fantastic. I love that they got crazy. Leprechaun 1, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 4, or 3. Leprechaun 4 in space, Leprechaun in the hood, Leprechaun back to the hood, Leprechaun Origins, and then Leprechaun Returns, the reboot. But yeah, so
why do you think not only that they were able to make so many Leprechaun films, but that for the most part, people who enjoy horror films or people who enjoy these type of films really ended up liking them? Because Leprechaun's like hit or miss, man. It could have been great right out of the gate like it was, or it could have been horrible. But look, when you make a Leprechaun film and you set it in the hood and you get a pre-Law and Order SVU Ice-T to star in your film, you've won me over. Like, I will pay the $2.99 to watch. Well, let's be honest, John's always going to pay $3.99 for high def. But anyways, that's beside Come on. I mean, we're there now. No one should be paying for standard def unless they just have an old ass TV. Let's just be real. But you've got Ice-T in your Leprechaun film that is set in the hood. You got me. I'm there. I am absolutely there. Just like I'm there for Leprechaun in space. Just like I'm there for Gonorrhea Leprechaun. Just like I'm there for Jennifer Aniston Leprechaun. So
yeah. And I think one of the biggest things that helped with these movies is how low budget they were. It's easy. It was very easy for a lot of low budget movies to make their money back box office style. Oh, sure. But after the second one didn't do so well, actually, they actually went back to doing everything direct to video, which don't bother me. I like that.
No.
But I love how Leprechaun 2, here's the title: One Wedding and Lots of Funerals. Like that was the alternative.
I don't remember that tagline at all. I don't now. Leprechaun, the first one, I've seen a bunch of times. Leprechaun in Space, I've seen a bunch of times, and Leprechaun in the Hood, I've seen a bunch of times. But to be honest, I only seen Leprechaun 2 once, and I don't remember that tagline being a part of the film.
I think it was somewhere like in another country or something.
They do that a lot with titles and things like that, especially we learned that from Eric Walker with the Ewok films, how it was going to be Ewok Adventure, but then in Europe it became Caravan of Courage. So, you know,
and with Mel Brooks films, because his first movie was Producers, which has the satirical song Springtime for Hitler. All the sequential movies were Springtime with Chairs, because the second movie was about the silver chair. Then Springtime in the West, Springtime with Frankenstein, Springtime. So everything was Springtime to let you know it was a Mel Brooks movie.
So I'm looking to see if they have a reason for the additional name, and I'm not seeing it without doing more extensive hunting that would cause us to disengage. But
yeah, no.
Yeah, it just says Leprechaun 2, also known as One Wedding and Lots of Funerals. So I think you're right. It got distributed somewhere else outside the United States. They probably added that tagline.
It was in the UK.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, if you go on Amazon Prime, the movie shows up there.
Okay, cool. Yep. So that makes sense. But I do remember, because that came out in 1994, and I do remember that there was negative reception of that because everybody loved the first Leprechaun film. And I mean, look, me and my friends growing up, we watched it, no big deal, type thing. So everybody was hyped for Leprechaun 2, and I remember when it came out, everybody was pissed. They're like, "What the fuck was this movie?" So
Yeah, and I think when they went to direct to video, they were starting to have more fun with the character. Like, you made him go to space. You know what I mean? It's like all kinds
he was
of like
gonorrhea
Jason.
that was ejaculated from a man's penis.
Yeah,
I mean, that right there kind of like caps it off. You can't really. Where do you go after that?
Yeah, and I think a lot of times when you allow movies to jump the shark purposely, you get a good movie, in my opinion. Because like I'll be honest with you, I love Jason in Space. I fucking love that movie. I'll watch that. I know it's not a great movie, but man, is it not entertaining?
It is extremely entertaining, and it has some of the best kills in the entire franchise.
Yeah. Like they knew they weren't taking it seriously. They literally made that movie based on the fact of they literally went into the pitch meeting and went like, "Well, what else are we gonna do?" That was the pitch,
dude. And here's the thing too: is that there's a difference between making a quality sci-fi film and like actually trying and really putting something together. And there's a difference between that and making a fourth franchise film from the Leprechaun set in space. There's totally a difference because you're not out to make a great sci-fi film or make a case as a director or say, "Hey, I've got this vision. Now give me money and let me make a better version or a different version or a different movie altogether because you trust me now." No. We just said, okay, we know X amount of people are going to love Leprechauns and we know people love space. So let's just go, oh shit. Yeah, Ted, you came in at the right time, my friend. The right time. Exactly the right time. So, yeah, they were like, dude, fucking set it in space and put the Tool Time girl in there. Guarantee you people will buy it. And they sure fuck did. They did. Leprechaun 4 was a decent film in terms of, like, people's reception to it. And that's how you do it, man. You set it in space, you get the Tool Time girl, you say suspend disbelief on everything else, and everyone's like, oh, wow, this was actually entertaining. And then meanwhile, like, God, that was a terrible movie, but I loved watching it.
I really, honest to God, loved the pitch. I hope that was the pitch meeting. Listen. The Leprechaun, the Tool Time girl in space.
Boom. That was dude. Just like the Sharknado films. A guy sat down, drew a picture of a tornado on the whiteboard, and then said this with sharks inside of it. And some executive stood up and was like, we're doing it. We're doing it. Yep. So that's exactly what happened here. He was like, Leprechauns, Tool Time girl, in space. Some guy stood up and was like, make that shit now. So, I mean,
That's it. That's all it takes sometimes. No worries, Dart. Dart's mentioning Daddy Dunham, aka the Tool Time girl. Exactly. Yep. But again, that's swinging for the fences, and I appreciate that so much. I mean,
love those kind of films. That's what we like to watch.
I mean, that's essentially what is it? Evil Dead did. I mean, Evil Dead it's a spoof on the Lovecraft genre.
But it ended up creating its own genre in the process and then elevated itself to the top of that. So, I mean, bravo, Sam Rainey, real quick. Okay, moving on from that.
Which, by the way, I actually have one of his movies right in front of me right now, so that was pretty cool.
Wait, what was that? I couldn't see. There's a glare.
The Quick and the Dead.
Oh, dude, my mom likes that movie, man.
I have a bunch of video cassettes I gotta watch. My grandfather gave me all his video cassettes because he didn't want anymore. And I'm like, fuck it. There's some ones that are rare. I got Goodfellas. I got Casino, which is 2 giant fucking tapes put together.
Oh, yeah. Back when the VHS double stacked them in the sleeves. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I have some fun. I'm going to hang out with that. But anyways.
I had all mine. But yeah, we're out of time. The clock on the wall says we need to wrap up our not really about St. Patrick's Day, but kind of about St. Patrick's Day, but not really, Yeah, I mean, look, I finished my water. Does that count for something?
It does count. But I want to say real quick, thank you to everybody that commented. Darth, Ted, Ryan, both Ryans. Mr. Pete from the Funny Stop. As
Yeah.
always, I'll give you a call, by the way. I want to thank Mr. Max Roland for all the graphics for our logo. I want to thank Vance, the producer, who produces the goods. I want to say like and subscribe us on YouTube. This episode will be up tomorrow, so if you missed it, no worries. Check it out there. Make sure you like and subscribe and share our page to all your friends. And we got one more comment real quickly on the buzzer.
Don't even read it. Don't even read.
No, don't you troll us, Garth. Don't you dare troll us, Garth.
Yeah, he's gonna do that shit for a while now.
This is like our Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry, we had to bump Matt Damon.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you participating today.
Yes, but anyways, I'm Jesse,
and I'm John,
and you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you, and have an awesome night. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everyone.